you really hate Sean Combs.
Why would they be thinking that?
Because of the things that you post on Instagram, because of the...
Look at this. And let's stop for a second and do say that I hated him enough to hire his kids. And we've never done anything to each other. So it's just competitive energy and things that you say about other artists while you're in hip-hop culture.
I go on my Twitter and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
Aaron Carter begged for help in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not vital. And no one said anything.
This is my first podcast interview ever.
What?
This documentary stops being just gossip and becomes something really important. When 50 Cent made a film showing what people hid for years, it makes every viewer ask hard questions. Who benefited from keeping quiet? Why were important facts buried so long? This film shows Aaron Carter's rise to fame and his sad downfall, and how Diddy had too much power over people. Names like Justin Bieber keep showing up in the same stories, which forms a scary pattern. This isn't about one person making one mistake. It's about a whole system that kept protecting powerful people while ignoring kids who needed help. The biggest question is, if the proof was always there, why did it take so long for anyone to speak up? Diddy has been facing tons of lawsuits ever since he was arrested, and more keep coming. Now, 25 new lawsuits claim he had inappropriate relationships with minors. People have talked for months about his connections to Justin Bieber and Usher when they were young kids, but now a shocking new name has come up: Aaron Carter. Aaron reportedly first met Diddy when he was only 9 years old, and those allegations have caused huge debates online. But 50 Cent's documentary isn't just repeating old rumors. It's putting together a hidden timeline and showing how important events were erased from public memory. The film uses silence as proof, making viewers ask who controlled the story, why it was hidden, and how powerful people kept getting away with it. Each new reveal makes this feel like the biggest scandal of our time.
We have our own bond. I'm just at a place now where I want to tell our truth, change the narrative for my family. We were just such playful kids. There was the 5 of us. There was a lot of love. Nick, he was discovered by my mom in the backyard. Oh my gosh, he can sing. That's how he joined the Backstreet. No boundaries. Divorce was brewing. And then we all got in.
Your father and losing him. And then yet earlier you acknowledged that your father had put a to your head and fired it.
Boys, Aaron really idolized Nick. He wanted to be exactly like him. At age 7, he started singing, working like an adult, innocence stripped away from him. Things were really chaotic at home. No boundaries. Divorce was brewing. And then we all got in.
Aaron Carter was once one of the most famous and talented young stars in music. He was only 9 when his first album became a hit, making him one of the biggest child stars ever. People thought he would have an amazing career, but his star faded fast. Fame at such a young age is already really hard, but something much darker was pulling him down. Many people close to the situation believe Aaron may have been taken advantage of by a harmful system. In the documentary, Aaron isn't just a sad story. He's an example of how talent gets celebrated while protection is ignored. The film asks a powerful question. Silence is never harmless. So who gained the most by keeping Aaron's story quiet for so long? Aaron became famous before he was old enough to protect himself from an industry that uses young people and throws them away. The documentary shows how his early success slowly turned into something dangerous, where opportunities were really traps in disguise. It sends a powerful message. At some point, adults chose money over protecting a child. When a kid's whole value is about performing, the warning signs get ignored on purpose instead of being treated as the real danger they are.
Your father and losing him, and then yet earlier you acknowledged that your father had put a to your head and fired it.
I just want to make everyone happy and just love and do my music. Do you honestly think that making music on my bed
I believe so. Because he has a brother, yeah.
Finishing up a meth head and a crackhead, teaching my niece her first dance moves.
You know, he's just kind of like slurring his speech. And, you know, I heard that him and his girl broke up again like 2 days after we did the interview, because she was there, like posted up, like, and I guess they had been through this dramatic breakup. And some of the stuff that I was talking to him about was super depressing, like him having his kid taken away. But
The documentary keeps coming back to one idea: who was closest to the people in charge and who got the best opportunities because of it. Diddy shows up again and again in social circles, fancy events, and mentorship situations, not through direct accusations, but through undeniable patterns. The film shows how power works through secret connections instead of official rules. It leaves industry organizations with a tough question: if real accountability lives in the gaps between job titles and actual power, how can anyone keep track of it? One of the most disturbing parts of the documentary is watching Aaron Carter beg for help over and over again. These moments aren't shown to shock people. They're shown as real, painful records of someone who was terrified, deeply lonely, and knew that something was very wrong and getting worse. Everyone carries some responsibility for what happened. Millions of people watched Aaron's pain play out on social media, but nobody stepped in to truly help him. It shows a broken system where people can watch someone suffer without anyone actually protecting them. The documentary asks a tough question. When everyone is watching, who is actually supposed to help?
And how you holding up?
I'm doing good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, staying strong. It's been 8 months of a lot of turmoil and back and forth. But at this point, I think that I've got it under control. You know, I'm doing everything that I need to do, and just focusing on my music, which is what I love. It's my passion, and really just taking care of my aftercare, and
which consists of what? The care. You're doing what you have to do. So what does that mean to you?
Basically, a lot of people in the news, there's hundreds of posts from media, and they all said, that I'm 165 pounds, and when I checked into rehab last time, I was 117, same weight that Michael Jackson died at, actually, and
117 pounds.
Yeah. I got my weight up and I kept it the whole time. I've managed to turn my life around. I'd be able to purchase houses, flip houses, be a real estate mogul, do touring after all the...
So you're buying and flipping houses, huh?
Yeah.
And I see that this one is
for sale right now.
Is up for this one's up for sale.
Yeah, so Christy Olympus is my she's like my big sister. But she's my real estate agent. She got me to my first house, which is only like about a mile away from here.
Yeah.
And then flipped that one from 420 to 620, got $200,000 profit. I bought this one.
The documentary zooms out to show a bigger picture, a music industry culture that slowly made it normal to put kids in adult situations. Young artists were regularly guided through spaces full of powerful people, where protection should have existed, but often didn't. The film exposes a system that ran on dangerous assumptions instead of real safety rules, leaving vulnerable kids in places built for the powerful. The documentary reveals that many adults around these young artists probably knew enough to step in, but stayed quiet to protect themselves. It shows how silence became a system built on loyalty, fear, and protecting reputations. No single person looks fully responsible, yet real harm kept happening. The film forces a painful question. Where does true responsibility lie when everyone knows something but nobody speaks up? Mentions of Justin Bieber aren't about blaming him or drawing direct comparisons. They point to a troubling pattern the industry keeps repeating with young talent. The documentary leaves viewers with a haunting question. Can it really be a coincidence when the same thing keeps happening to young artists generation after generation?
What's going on with that? They look at they look at the stuff, they look at this right here, bro. First and foremost, all the companies that you have, you understand, and I know some people have trust and have companies in their kids' name. This man never put anything in his name. Why? It's either his mother, his son, his kid's name and everything like that. He had 18 companies that was giving him some kind of revenue.
The documentary reveals that many adults around these young artists probably knew enough to step in, but stayed quiet to protect themselves. It shows how silence became a system built on loyalty, fear, and protecting reputations. No single person looks fully responsible, yet real harm kept happening. The film forces a painful question. Where does true responsibility lie when everyone knows something but nobody speaks up? The documentary explains why almost nobody spoke up publicly, because speaking out could destroy your career and your life, while staying quiet kept you safe. That's what makes 50 Cent stand out. He was willing to face backlash to demand answers. He's not acting out of some perfect moral belief. He simply refuses to keep accepting all the excuses for why nobody took responsibility sooner.
What's going on with that? You know, they look at the They look at the stuff. They look at this right here, bro. First and foremost, all the companies that you have, you understand, and I know some people have trust in that companies in their kids' name. This man never put anything in his name. Why? It's either his mother, his son, you know what I'm saying, his kid's name and everything like that. He had 18 companies that was giving him some kind of revenue. Why is nothing really in his name? Is there some kind of tax evasion? They looking at that. You understand? You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage.
When careful research and real evidence replace guessing and rumors, something important shifts. Legal documents, expert opinions, and real investigation finally start revealing the truth that was missing for so long. The documentary explains why almost nobody spoke up publicly, because speaking out could destroy your career and your life, while staying quiet kept you safe. That's what makes 50 Cent stand out. He was willing to face backlash to demand answers. He's not acting out of some perfect moral belief. He simply refuses to keep accepting all the excuses for why nobody took responsibility sooner.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Yeah,
car accident. I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it should show you his character.
was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
Telling the truth in this industry isn't just brave, it's dangerous. The documentary shows that speaking up means putting yourself at serious risk. This isn't about performing courage, it's about surviving it. The film challenges viewers to ask a bigger question. Does telling the truth in this industry always put the person saying it in danger? The documentary doesn't try to wrap everything up in a neat ending, and that's on purpose. Instead, it shows the painful gap between fame and safety, between having access and being supervised, between rumors and proven facts. Beyond Aaron Carter's personal tragedy, 50 Cent's film asks viewers to think hard about what was allowed to happen around him, and why names like Justin Bieber and Diddy keep coming up in the same conversations about power and harm. As the music industry is finally forced to look at itself, the film ends with one final brutal question for everyone watching. Will the system actually change, or will it just get better at hiding?